A last reel for your ears only, with Eddie Robinson and this quote from the news, probably in one of my drunken stupors. That was Toronto Mayor Rob Ford finally confessing he had smoked crack cocaine, which led to his losing much official power and a TV series. Now this big screen story from our March 10th show.
You're in Oz. I'm Theodora the Good Witch.
Where's your broom?
You don't know much about witches, do you?
I might not actually be a wizard.
Yes, but they don't know that.
There are no red shoes, no Tin Woodsman, or Cowardly Lion. Nobody singing over the rainbow, or under it for that matter, for legal reasons. But Disney has put some $200 million into its new 3D prequel to Hollywood's 1939 classic, The Wizard of Oz, the most watched movie in U.S. history, according to the Library of Congress, made on a mere $3 million budget. The new film, Oz, the Great and Powerful, shows how the title character ended up behind that famous curtain, with current screen stars James Franco, Mila Kunis, Rachel Weisz, and Michelle Williams, director Sam Raimi of Spider-Man trilogy fame, and a whole new trick bag of computerized special effects.
It's a huge gamble for Disney, hampered by restrictions set by owners of the original film rights, right down to a shade of green to be used, and by the end of last week by mixed reviews. But like the story itself, the making of the film was a fabulous adventure, shared in part by our own frequent co-host Melissa Exelberth, also a veteran voice actress, who has a minor role. And for your ears only, Melissa is on the line now to tell us about it. Welcome back to the program from the other side of the microphone.
Hey, guys. It's just so weird to be on this side of the interview.
First, tell us about your role in the film and how you got it.
Well, I'm a voice actor. I do voice work for Sam, the director, Sam Raimi. I did some work for him in the pre-production stage, and that just basically led to my getting to say a few words in the film. I'm a quadling in the movie, and I have a broom, and I have a big mouth.
Okay, so what costumes in the film should we be on the lookout for, and how long did it take you to get through the process of wardrobe, hair, and makeup each day while on the set?
Well, every set, every world in the movie and its people have their own look. As a quadling, I'm a citizen of Glinda's kingdom, so we have all of these interesting outfits. They're all different, but in the same general type. I'd get there about 2 hours before shooting started. I'd usually go to wardrobe first. They dressed me in this big hoop skirt and a ruffled shirt. There was a belt and gloves, and I had this bonnet with a brim that just stood straight up in the air, and they had pinned flowers into it. So it was really kind of interesting looking. Then I go to hair. They do this elaborate style with hair pieces that they made for each of us. And then makeup, where they did our own personal look. And they took pictures. At the beginning, when they set all this up, they took pictures of us on the day that they created our looks. So they used those to recreate it down to the finest detail every single day. It was pretty amazing.
Where was the film shot, and how much of it was real versus created later with computer-generated imagery, CGI? Did you set foot on a real yellow brick road?
Oh, yes, I set foot on the yellow brick road. Both feet, hours, days, weeks. Every single day we stood on the yellow brick road. It was shot in Michigan, in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a suburb of Detroit, at Michigan Motion Picture Studios. All of the sets were real. They were tangible. I was in a courtyard scene at Glinda's castle, and our scene took place on the yellow brick road. When we took short breaks during the scene, we would be sitting on the steps of her castle. The backgrounds, the landscapes, the creatures, they were all CGI, but they were all that was all done surrounding the actual set. Sets were built for Emerald City, the woods, Chinatown, that's where China Girl is from, the gate, just about everything. Kansas, everything was all built.
Did you meet real munchkins, the little people?
Yes, there were lots. They were also citizens of Glinda's kingdom, so there were dozens of little people on set. We worked with them most days.
In the new film, Franco plays Oscar Diggs, a small-time circus magician who gets thrown into Oz by way of a tornado in Kansas. He meets three witches, played by Kunis, Weisz, and Williams, who are not convinced that he's eventually going to have the power to overcome a great evil. Which of the big stars were around when you were on set, and what were they like?
Well, James, Michelle, and Mila were on set when I was there. They were all very nice. James constantly had his nose in a book. He had a book with him all the time. Whenever there was a short break, he'd be reading. He actually gave me a thumbs up when I said my line, so I thought that was kind of really cool. Mila was really down to earth. She would talk to everybody who was surrounding her, the background people, everybody. She'd chat with everyone. And Michelle was really, really sweet.
Although watching a movie takes about a 2-hour or so investment, making a movie can take days, months, weeks, even years. Like watching paint dry, they say. How many takes for your scenes?
Oh, I have no idea.
Really?
A lot. It was a lot. I mean, it takes a long, long time to make a movie, especially one on this scale. I was there for a little over 2 weeks. They were shooting the scene I was in when I got there, and they were still shooting it when I left.
What struck you most about a project of this scale and invention with maybe 1,000 people involved? How does it all come together?
You know, it was mostly the collaboration that really struck me. You had hundreds of people. Every single one of them was focused on their job, on that thing that they do. But everybody worked so well with everyone else. It was literally a masterwork of collaboration. It was almost magical. I didn't see any attitudes. I didn't see any pettiness. Everyone really enjoyed what they were doing, and it showed. At one point, I was in makeup, and I remarked to that I was just amazed at the collaboration. And Vivian, the head of makeup, said, "Well, all of that comes from the top down. It comes from Sam." And, I mean, I couldn't agree more. When you think about it, it was a perfect way to put it.
Melissa Exelberth, the regular co-host of For Your Ears Only, also does voiceovers for commercials, documentaries, audiobooks, and more, including a brief part in the new film Oz the Great and Powerful, in theaters now. Maybe she'll sign our ticket stub.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
From our March 10th show, and this has been For Your Ears Only.